Yeah, totally. Cowboy Bebop is cowboy mid bop. It's mid. It's mid.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Sebby Sama. Thanks very much. We appreciate it. He will not be back. So yeah, it was good. Hey, take us out. Let's go.
Nice. Jojo, I know our Discord member Robo92 will be love to hear that because he's our resident. I mean, let me get your take on this actually, because he said,
"Oh yeah, good. Yeah, I know where you're going. I know where you're going."
He said, and you've seen both of these animes, I'm sure. He said JoJo's is better than Bleach. I want to get your take on it because I haven't seen all the way to part 6. I've seen 1 and 2.
Yeah, and good question.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe he's not tatting smoke, but I was like, "There's no way." There's like no way.
Even I did. I was like, "Nah, no chance.
No way."
No chance.
But you've
Bleach
seen all part 6. He hasn't actually seen Bleach, which is criminal in itself. But we'll give that to him. We don't judge here. So he hasn't seen Bleach, but he's adamant that JoJo's better.
I'll tell you what. So the way I will say some anime are definitely better than other anime, but the way that I kind of view anime is the same way that I view food. Like, you know, like for example, One Piece to me, let's just say for example, is like pizza. Like I love pizza. And then Attack on Titan is like sushi, and I love sushi. But like I wouldn't necessarily compare, you know, sushi to pizza and be like, oh yeah, sushi is definitively better than pizza. They're so different. Like, you know what I mean? I like them. Maybe I like pizza more than sushi as a whole, but sushi's good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, sushi's really good. So with that being said, if I look at Bleach and I think about what does Bleach give me from that show? It gives me compelling storytelling, interesting world building, really fun fights. But what I would say with Bleach is I feel like there's other animes that do that better than Bleach. And so, like, if I had to, like you said, right, Ed, like, Bleach isn't in your top 20. I can empathize and understand with that. I can understand that. I love Bleach. I like Bleach a lot. I really do. Like, so I'm not trying to hate on Bleach. But what I feel like in what it does, I can go other places in anime and get like a better version of it. So with JoJo's, there's only one place you can get JoJo's at. It's with JoJo. So JoJo's gives you something that you're not going to be able to find anywhere else. And so it has like this charm to it and like this magnetism to it, especially the more you get invested into it, the longer it gets, where you just like buy into all of the silliness. You're like, okay, I get it. Like my guard has been dropped. I get it. I see what this guy is trying to do. This is clever. This is fun. So for that reason alone, and I can't believe I'm saying this because I haven't thought about it until you literally asked me, but I would take JoJo's over Bleach. But I love Bleach. Like, don't get it twisted. Like I do love Bleach, but JoJo's to me is just a bit more exciting and captivating in certain ways.
No, honestly, we always say no judgment. So long as you bring rationale, you just can't say something's rubbish without, and that is a great rationale. You know, JoJo it's a unique artwork. It's a unique, I guess, piece, as it were, in terms of its creation. I would still say objectively for me, I think Bleach is better if we're comparing the two. But I get your point. I see where you're coming from in terms of how they're two. Bleach is almost kind of a standard shonen set, whereas JoJo is almost like a unique art piece where you can't necessarily see that in many different showrooms. Whereas Bleach, you can get it from a JJK or a Naruto or something like that. So that's a very good way to.
I like that answer as well. Yeah, I like it. I like the answer. I'm gonna start using that analogy. What type of food is it? Because it's valid. It's valid.
It's real. And like,
I mean,
you catch me on different days of the month, and I might say that I like, you know, Naruto more than Vinland Saga. Then on another day of the month, I might be like, Vinland Saga, I like that more than Naruto. You know what I mean? So like it changes over time as well, I think.
The only thing, listeners, that doesn't change is One Piece.
One Piece don't change. One Piece is everything. One Piece is everything. It's every meal. It's sushi. It's fried chicken. It's barbecue.
Exactly.
It's Italian food. It's everything. It's everything.
Exactly. I completely agree.
Oh my gosh. And then in terms of like, because I know you do like a lot of commentary on your channel and so on and so forth. What is a controversial take that you have? Because we have a lot, and I'm happy to divulge some of the ones we had in our Discord. But are there any controversial takes in anime in general? It could be also One Piece that you've either heard or you have per se, in terms of letting us know.
Yeah, totally. Cowboy Bebop is cowboy mid-bop.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Sebby Sama. Thanks very much. We appreciate it. He will not be back. So yeah, it was good. Hey, take us out. Let's go.
Wait, we need some rationale there, Sebby. We need a rationale. If you've got a good rationale, it's all good. Look, we don't judge it, like you said.
Yes.
We don't. Same on our Discord. Come, that's what we want. We want to expand it.
Bring the heat. Let's
yeah,
go.
bring the heat. So
100%.
tell us, why is it mid-bop?
Okay. So I'm being a little, tongue in cheek.
Yeah,
with that
sure.
take, but like I like to say it like that to start it off. But so with that being said, what is Cowboy Bebop in a real way to me? It is a beautiful art style. It's incredibly iconic, has an amazing soundtrack. It captured me as a kid. Like, undeniably, like, it's an iconic anime, and I would recommend everyone to watch it. Yeah. But as a story, now I get it, it's more of an episodic anime. Yeah. But for me, I'm so story-driven that I think only a couple episodes in Cowboy Bebop, specifically in the beginning with, like, Vicious, like, the episodes concerning Vicious, they connect together a little bit in the beginning, and at the end. Like, those parts I like the most, but the episodic nature, to me, I don't know what it was, but I just never connected enough with Faye, Spike, or Jet. I mean, Ed was entertaining when Ed was around, but, like, I just never felt captured by any of them, and I watched it once. I watched it as a kid, and I watched it once, and then I went back and said, you know what? I'm a big believer, personally, that the second watch of something is the truth. In terms of like that first watch, you have like these 100%. Expectations, you don't know what's going on. But the second watch, you get to sit back and watch it unfold, and you're like, I can see the dots connecting. I understand this better now. So I watched it a second time as an adult, and I couldn't help but sit there and feel like towards the end, I was like having to drag myself through it because I was so bored. Now, with that being said, I don't think it's a bad anime. I just think it's like, it's so, because people love Cowboy Bebop. I don't get it. Like, one of my best friends has See You Space Cowboy on his car, diehard Cowboy Bebop fan. Like, I get, like, that escapes my mind. I don't know how you could like it that much for me, because just I don't resonate with the story and the characters that well. But I will say this: I absolutely adore Samurai Champloo. Samurai Champloo. Yeah. So I don't know. I just think it's not that good to me, but I get how I'm in the wrong. No. I'm in the wrong. I know that.
You know what? I can understand that. So I watched it when I was younger, too. I'm a kid, obviously. And then when I went back to watch it as an adult, the opposite happened. I was like, you know what? I really like this. I truly enjoy this because and you're right. It depends on. So I don't mind episodic shows. It's okay to me. I don't mind it. But you're right. I think if you are somebody who is story driven, that alone will make it hard for it to ever really get above a 6 out of 10. It'll be really hard because you're always going to be thinking, but what's the point of this random episode where they're chasing a dog? It's like it doesn't relate to anything.
Yeah.
So I actually do get that. And then I've had the opposite happen where, and this happened in the lifetime of this podcast. I watched Steins Gate before when I was younger, loved it. Enough to say it was one of my favorite, if not the favorite, single season show.
Yeah, wow.
Watched it again. I was like, nah, this is trash. I couldn't get into it. I couldn't get into it.
That's fascinating.
So I couldn't get into it. And this is onto episode, I think it's episode 1. I'm there saying, number one, it's the best. It's the episode 1. Now, like, I think 100 episodes later, I was like, maybe not. And that's only because I thought I should probably go back and watch that show because I'm not, so I can view it again without nostalgia, to your point, and see, okay, do I really like this?
Correct. Yeah.
And make that decision for myself. So I get it. It's yeah, it's an interesting take though. Cowboy Bebop.
No, look, as I
like
mentioned,
that. I actually like it.
No, it's some good justifications there. I think it's again, it's one of those things where if you take the food analogy, I hate stuff like Bounty. People love Bounty, you know. I don't know if you have Bounty in the US, like a coconut chocolate. But yeah, it's just one of those things where it doesn't grab you. Some people swear, like I was just looking at my our Discord, our Wild Hot Takes channel. We have Kuni who says Code Geass is the best anime ever. Now I would disagree, but that's his opinion.
Yeah.
You know, it's a good anime, but I wouldn't say it's the best anime ever. I wouldn't even say it's my top 10, but it's a good anime. So,
I do love Code Geass, but I would never say it's the best anime of all time.
yeah, exactly.
Never say
No,
that, no.
but you know, everyone has their own take. So, no, I that was a good one though. I have to say, it's kind of
Cowboy Bebop. Yeah, that was a good one. That's one of the one of the takes that actually hit home more than other ones I can kind of get. But Cowboy Bebop, I was like, okay, let's go. I like that. That was good. Okay, cool. So actually, I'm not sure if you wanted to save this question to a bit later, Ed, but Sebby, what is your at the time, because it can change, but if you had to pick like top 5 anime, in fact no, that might be quite difficult. Top 3, let's go top 3 right now.
Top three, yeah.
And it doesn't have to be in any particular order, and take One Piece out. Let's take One Piece out.
Yeah. Look, I'm glad you said that, because One Piece always takes up a spot, and it's like it's so like objectively obvious the truth that's like do I have to say that?
Like, duh.
Duh. I mean, what? If I had to say my top 3 anime, man, I would have to say Attack on Titan's in there for me, 100%. My heart wants to say Naruto.
Okay.
For the reasons of, there is not another anime that made me tear up more than Naruto, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
Naruto has moved me emotionally, specifically Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. Like, Boruto hasn't moved me as much, and it just hasn't. But it's like in it, and I feel like so basic saying, "Oh yeah, my top 3 is Attack on Titan and Naruto," but it's like I've seen a lot of anime, but it's
there for a reason.
I love
it's
that.
there for a reason. Yeah, it's popular for a reason. It's not, yeah.
It really, really is. And then I would say my last one, it's up in the air with a lot of them, and depending on the day of the week, it could change. But a story that I recently encountered that I absolutely fell in love with is Beserk. The Beserk 1997. Woo!
Yeah.
Solo's close to Solo's heart.
Yeah. It's in my top 5 for me. It's 100%. Berserk is. I read the manga like three times now.
Really?
And if you haven't read the manga,
I'm in the middle of. I've been reading it, but it was so good. I watched it and I was just like, wait. People need to know that this exists. So I like made my friends and my brother start to rewatch it. So I'm like, slowly rewatching it with them as well, and I've been reading into the manga. I'm a bit past where the anime in 1997 leaves off, so I'm a bit past that, but I'm not. There's so much more to go.
Yeah, you won't be. I mean, it's dark, and you do need to give some people some slight trigger warnings if they don't like certain topics, because I described it on the podcast as everything that you think is triggering is in the show, is in the story.
That's
like,
fair to
oh,
say.
what about it's in there? What about it's in there? No, but I guarantee I'm telling you, it's in there. So, but it still has such a great way of I don't even know how to accurately describe it, but of like the brutal beauty in human connection.
Yes.
I think is the best way I can describe it. But
have either of you seen Game of Thrones?
Yes. Yeah.
So it's Berserk's a bit more cruel maybe than Game of Thrones, but it's akin to it in terms of like and like that stuff actually happens. Like, you know what I like in like
that's the right. Yeah.
And it's evil, but it happens, and so it makes for a good story.
and you're right. When they talk about it, it's not. So when some of the bad things happen, it's not a gore fest. It's not doing it just because. It's not like it's not like Saw. You know, like the Saw film. So Saw 1 was a twist. It's like, oh, this is psychological. The other Saws, as they go on, this is like, how crazy can we get it? Berserk's not like that. Berserk is more like Saw 1 and 2, where it's like, okay, it's here, but it's not about that. This is about, you know how Saw is about where if you do something bad in your life, that can be used against you as a test. Berserk is similar in the sense where it's nothing's going to be used against you in a test, but if you were going to exist in this type of world where these things exist, this is what would happen. We're not going to shy away from it. This is actually what happened. People get what do you call it? Seduced by power, and that seduction of power. What would actually happen when you are seduced by power? And they show they fortunately or unfortunately show it. So, but no, Berserk, I'm gonna stop. But that's Berserk. Along with One Piece, Berserk. I love that show. I love that story.
I would love to quickly hear both of your top threes at least too.
Go for it, Ed. I'll go. Go for it.
If we take One Piece out, then it's gonna be Ghost in the Shell.
Okay.
Hajime no Ippo, and then so what I say is I have a top 3, and then the other in my top 10. The other 7 just fluctuate. But if I had to choose one right now, I would say Dragon Ball Z, but it would be Attack on Titan otherwise, or Hunter x Hunter. Just because Dragon Ball Z, what I did for the culture, I know it hasn't got the great story, but for what it is, it motivated me fitness-wise. I started using ankle weights, all that stuff. Like, it just has an impact on people beyond just the story. And even though the story wasn't great, but more so from a cultural reference, aspiration, leveling up, so on and so forth. Hunter x Hunter, of course, everyone knows that's a great show. And then Attack on Titan for me, anime of the decade. So, you know,
Okay. I love that. Yeah.
I would go Berserk, Hunter x Hunter, and I am torn in the top 3 between Attack on Titan or my mind is going to Haikyuu.
Okay.
Interesting.
My mind is going to Haikyuu. So
you
Haikyuu,
both said sports animes. Hajime no Ippo.
I got him to sports.
So
animes,
this is it. So same way you got into you were initially against One Piece, I was initially against sport anime. I had zero interest in sporting anime. Zero. Like Ed for ages he's watched a bunch of them. Prince of Tennis, all of these, watched a bunch of them, and I was against it. I was like, no, I'm not. Why? I can just watch the sport. Why do I care about anime? I'll just watch the sport. Yeah. And then I got into Haikyuu, and I don't think I've ever cared for a fictional team more than those damn birds. I really enjoyed Haikyuu, and that's where it is right now. It may change, and I might Attack on Titan may switch into then Naruto may come in, but right now, because I've just got a friend of mine into Haikyuu, so it's top of mind. I'd say Haikyuu. I'd say Berserk, Hunter x Hunter, and Haikyuu.
That's fire though. I can appreciate that. Yeah.
That's what
I want to ask you both this real quick. If Hunter x Hunter would have continued with the same level of consistency, I know where he's going,
and I know my answer.
Right. that, like, let's say One Piece did. This is my gut tells me this. Hunter x Hunter could be the only other show that could have rivaled One Piece in a very serious way if they would have been able to if
really go for it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think it could have, because that world is so rich and unique and complex. It's so cool. So cool.
My answer, yes. And I think I've even said on the podcast, I think it might have been better. I've definitely said this to my brothers. Yeah. It would have been better. And people look at me crazy when I say that. And I say this is my answer. For me, Hunter x Hunter, what Hunter x Hunter does that One Piece may not always do is that Hunter x Hunter looks at its main characters, its main casts, and it shows the positives and the negatives of their decisions.
Correct.
One Piece and the main crew, it's always ever just the positives. And we recently had someone say that Luffy hasn't had that much character development, and I kind of agree. But I think Luffy is more of he is a symbol of freedom. He is the embodiment of freedom. So he's not supposed to change. Yeah. But for me as an individual, I like seeing that gray area, which is why I like things like Vagabond, which is a manga. In fact, Vagabond might be in my top 3 as well. Vagabond and Beserk and Hunter x Hunter and Attack on Titan, because it plays with those decisions and the consequences of those decisions. So it's just as simple as Gon making the decision, Gon being so selfish that he doesn't care about anyone else. I am willing to do this in order to achieve X, and if people are hurt, screw it. It doesn't matter. I'm trying. Like, I remember when he was that guy with the big pipe. He said, "Oh, why don't you try to kill me?" Yep. He would have killed him. He's not. There's no. He would have killed him and went smiling on his way. But then, most importantly, that world that was created at the end of the anime, you climb up to that world tree, and then if you read the manga, it just Dark Continent. And I think maybe sometimes when I think it might not have, I think that Hunter x Hunter was a lot faster to explore some of the conspiracy type things and the world building than One Piece. One Piece took a while to get there. I don't think One Piece didn't take, like, some of the things that they kind of sew in, you don't really get a sense of until post time skip. Then you're starting to see racism and cloning and the world government and destruction of history and all those things and slavery. But that's when people like from Saibudi Archipelago onwards. Before that, you don't really see it. But with Hunter x Hunter already, you're seeing, whoa, okay, there's some stuff there. But anyway, that's just me. Why would you say that? Why would you say that Hunter x Hunter could be rival One Piece?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think you said it very well. I think a lot of those concepts are absolutely the truth. And I think that's why, like, Hunter x Hunter, the anime itself is like about 150 episodes. But, like, specifically for me, like, the Chimera Ant arc, I know some people have some really hot
some people don't like it. Some people don't like it. Yeah.
And when people say that to me, I ask them, "Did you watch it with your eyes open?" Or no? Like, you know, like, it's like, but it's like, because for me, it was like very evidently the best part of the show, because it was like we had been putting in all this work and building up the familiarity with all these characters, and then the Chimera Ant arc happens, and we get to see so much, like, consequences in so many different ways, and like you're saying, it fleshes out these characters to like a different degree. Like with Gon, when he's obsessively looking at Pito, just like he is just down bad, bro. Like he really is. And Killua going through his things that he was going through, and the evolution of Meruem, and just who Netero was, and just like, it was so interesting that. And then I feel like I'm loosely aware of what's continued on with the manga. But I feel like just if Togashi, that's the author.
Togashi, Togashi.
If he would have been able to like fiercely keep on writing it and keep on creating it, it feels like he would have just built like a really complex and fascinating world that was incredibly unique too, in a lot of ways, like One Piece. And for us, it sounds like we crave something a bit deeper in some ways, right? Hence why, you know, we like these certain animes. And so I think it could have just done that really well, and that would have been that could have rivaled it in some ways. I don't know, One Piece still might be better, but who knows?
I mean, I absolutely agree. I think One Piece at sometimes are just a bit too jovial, a bit too happy at times. I think conversely, Hunter x Hunter is very dark, perhaps too dark at times, you know. But I think a lot of people like that. I think from my perspective, there was a great character analysis on Gon, from him going through the 7 stages of grief when he finds, spoilers if you haven't watched it, you should go and watch it. But you know, when that person dies who he really likes and sees him as a father figure, you could see him going through all those stages. And the fact that he would go to those lengths to gain that power just to, you know, redeem him and, you know, basically challenge the Meruem and so on and so forth, is just, I don't see that from Luffy. I know he's trying to be, you know, get stronger and so on and so forth, but there's an element of carefreeness of Luffy which sometimes is a bit annoying. And we've said this before. I think there was, like Tola mentioned, a super light a fan of ours who listens to the podcast, when he said Luffy didn't have character development, it did trigger me. But then when we did that episode and Solo kind of laid it out, he's right. You know, Luffy at the beginning is Luffy now. Yes, he's got stronger, so he's got growth. But in terms of him as a person, as an individual, he's still going to jump into war and have a happy sense of freedom, and know that, or think that his friends are gonna survive anyway. So you know, we're just gonna jump and just take on all the Marines, and you know, there's no consequences. Like, and then I think Solo made a great point about Naruto. Naruto is not just going in and jumping in; he's thinking about the villages. He's thinking about what's gonna happen if the consequences to his actions. Where Luffy, he could free an island, and he doesn't know when he leaves what can happen based on freeing the island. You know, there's still other pirates that can come and, you know, mess it up, but he's just like, yay, I've done it, and on to the next.
Someone else could have come and taken over Dressrosa. He has no idea. He has no idea.
Yeah, no idea. No, it's so true.
It's one of those ones where I think Hunter x Hunter for me, I think I would personally have enjoyed more if it kept going, but unfortunately, obviously, Togashi's having some illnesses, and
I think the thing I find really interesting about Hunter x Hunter, and I remember we watched it twice now, maybe 3 times, I can't remember, is Kurapika, because if you understand, you can see the parallels between Kurapika and Sasuke. It's quite there, the red eyes, the only one left, all those things, you see it. And one thing that people don't know, like, just because there's been 2 versions of the Hunter x Hunter,
correct,
and it started, I think, a year before One Piece did, or the anime started a year before. Now the thing that I remember when I watched the second time around, and it proves your point, Sebby, about second time around is like you can just watch it. I loved the decision of him, I forgot. I always miss his name. Yeah, thank you. Just to be like, I'm not here for your journey, Gon. I've got my own goals, so I'm out. Peace. I'm gonna go and get my crew's eyes back. That's what I'm here for. I told you at the beginning, I'm gonna go and get my eyes, and then his power is all just to go and get revenge for his eyes. It's not just in general. He's put that Nen contract to say, if I use this, I'm dead.
Yes.
That's mad.
Yeah.
Which
is so cool though.
Yeah, exactly. It's just
so
like,
cool.
It's so gay. Cool. It's not, so he can't, so Kurapika can't come into like a later arc and say, oh, I'm here to help out. No, you can't.
Unless he's a Phantom Fruit member, that's it. He's done.
You can't help. So I just liked it. I like the fact that they had that main crew, and then they broke it down to say, no, but they all have their own aspirations. Leorio has his own aspirations, Kurapika has his own aspirations, and Killua is along for the ride because he doesn't know what to do. And then when he does know what to do, he's out. He's like, okay, cool, I need to go look after my sister.
Yes, exactly.
Then he went. So I second time around, I was like, I appreciate that a lot, because so many times the main crew just gets sucked into the MC's goal, and it's like, oh, we're here to support you. It's like, nah, well, in life that doesn't always happen, right? So yeah, that's what I like.
So Sebby, I know this. Click on the next video before he lets it off. Impeccable form, by the way, and the Hunter x Hunter drip is get out of there. It's still there though. Yes, but in his mind, it's gone.